Welcome to Porchlight, a presentation of Porchlight VNA and Home Care, providing top-rate, highly personalized care to individuals and families in the Berkshires and also in the Pioneer Valley of Western Massachusetts. And it is springtime here in the Berkshires, so that means it's about time to get ready for the Audie Furgal Tennis Classic. It has become a tradition here in the Berkshires, and we have Claire Bunny Leahy from the Lee CTA who's here, and so this is not the first time in the program for you, Bunny. We've been talking about this for the last few years. It's been a great event.
Thank you. It's really nice of you to have me here. And yes, this is the fourth year that we've done this tournament in memory of my good friend, Audie Furgal. And a lot of people ask, why are you doing this in the memory of Audie? And it's because I'm really involved in tennis, and she was a student of mine actually once. And then tennis just became her life, and she's passed it on to her daughter and now to her 4 little grandchildren. So it's just been really fun doing something with something I love, tennis, for somebody that I really cared about. The connection to Porchlight is that they took care of her in her last days using a telemonitoring system so that she could stay at home. And I think her family much appreciated that. Joe Furgal, her husband, is on the board of directors of the Porchlight.
That's okay. You can get away with it here in Lee when saying that.
Okay, I was involved back when it did have a different name, and so there's a lot of connections. My husband is also involved with Porchlight. And Joe, Audie, my husband, have all been patients, actually, or clients, and had wonderful care from them. Ed, as you know, just returned from pretty major back surgery, and we had the home care service, and they were fantastic. I could never have done this whole project, Ed, by myself.
Yeah, and in fact, we did a wonderful profile on him also to talk about his experience with Porchlight, which we do quite a bit. But it's such a big difference to be able to rehab in your home. And a lot of times when you have major surgeries, especially things like knees surgeries, where it's very, very difficult to even stand, never mind get up and walk and that sort of thing, to be able to have that rehab in your own home makes a big, big difference.
I think so. And I've had some friends recently that have sent their husbands away to rehab centers. And it was really so easy. Having the home care and having them right at home. I think it was really, really nice.
Different strokes, as again, but at the same time, there's that option for you. And Porchlight is obviously a great option for that. One of the best. I mean, no doubt, our outcomes are superior, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So for the tennis classic, of course, you were talking about the telemonitoring system that Porchlight has. This is one of the things that helps raise money for that, because it's not something that all agencies provide, is the telemonitoring system. So in order to provide it, Porchlight needs to raise some of those dollars to make sure that it's available for as many people as possible.
That's correct, and it is a wonderful agency. So
June 18th is the date, right?
June 20th.
Oh, I'm sorry, June 20th. Okay.
June 20th. It's a Saturday for what we're calling the Audie Furgal Tennis Classic. And what's neat is I have a not-for-profit organization also, the Lee Community Tennis Association. This is our 30th year, delivering tennis to children and adults in all of Berkshire County, actually. We have lessons in Lee, Lenox, and Stockbridge during the summer. And right now we have a spring program that's starting May 16th on Saturday mornings for children 10 and under, 14 and under, 12 and under, 14 and under, 16 and under. That's a wonderful program at 9 o'clock in Lee, starting on May 16th, and 10 o'clock in Lenox on May 16th for 6 Saturdays. In fact, it goes right up through the Audie Furgal tournament, ends on June 27th. So this year when we do this tournament, since we have all these children involved in our programs,
Yeah.
Joe and Furgal and his daughter Toby, Furgal Simone, suggested that we enlarge the youth portion, which we had just started last year, is having an adult child and adult teen tournament. So this year, we're going to do that on Friday evening because some of the parents wanted to both play with their children and also enter one of the adult divisions on Saturday morning. So we have a theme of carrying on the legacy, and I just love a little photo I have on my website that shows the 4 little girls facing the camera, and then with their backs to the camera are Joe Furgal and Toby showing the Audie Furgal t-shirts. It's just really cute.
It is cool. And by the way, that website is leecta.org.
.com.
.com. I'm sorry. Okay, so Lee CTA, and it's the letters CTA.
Right.
.com. So that's where you can also register for the Audie Furgal Tennis Classic. And again, so a concerted effort to bring young people, because tennis is perhaps has been known as a sport that's a little bit before the upper middle class, at least, or maybe the upper crust, as it were.
Right.
Making it more accessible is something that you have been dedicated to doing for a very, very long time.
Well, definitely trying to make it affordable and available for everybody. You don't have to be a part of a club. You can just do it on the public courts, and they let us every town lets us use their public courts, so that's great. And in view of that, we are having children's entries absolutely free. And we do have a little part of the fundraising campaign is to sponsor a child. That's part of it. So for $25, somebody can sponsor a child in the tournament, and then the parents only have to pay their $25 entry fee.
Okay.
Trying to make it affordable for families, because when you start putting in a father and a mother and a father playing with 2 children, all of a sudden it really adds up. So
no doubt.
So that's the plan for this year.
It's going
a
to be a
little
great
bit
success.
different.
We know that. And it's like whenever you try something new, I'm sure you always there's a little bit of anxiety there. I can tell.
Oh, absolutely.
With that, but every year has been a success, and of course bigger. And the other thing is, the part about it is, in tennis, of course, you're going to have your great players that are more advanced than others and so forth. But this is for a broad spectrum. This is, it's not for just the most advanced players, but the great part about it is also there's food at the end of the day. So, and everyone loves that. So, so that's a great thing. And Guido's is working with you again this year.
Guido's has been the sponsor of the luncheon, the provider, just fantastic. And they donate the whole luncheon, which is direct. The tennis play on Saturday morning is Saturday morning 9 to noon, and then we're at sites all over the county playing, and then we come back to Berkshire West Athletic Club that they also donate their facility. And poolside we have the luncheon and a little silent auction, and maybe part of it will be live too, depending on what kind of donations we get for the auction. One thing I know we have coming are courtside seats for the U.S. Open, and that will be very nice.
So that's one of
the mini auction items.
Great.
And again, explaining the tournament, we have on Saturday divisions for all different levels, like women's. There's a rating system that's out there in the tennis world, and goes from 2.5 players all the way up to 4.5 or 5.0 players. And every one of our divisions is by level, so that you're playing with appropriate competitors. And we have each division at different locations. So donors of courts have been not only Berkshire West, but also the Country Club of Pittsfield, the towns. All the towns donate their courts. A lot of private courts are donated, both clay and hard courts. And another one is October Mountain, a village at October Mountain. They donate their courts. So we have condo associations. So we use like, I don't know, 21 courts or so.
Yeah.
And
I just thought that was the coolest thing, as we've talked about it, because there are all these sort of hidden treasures, because tennis courts, you'd be surprised where many of these tennis courts are.
Right.
And so, you probably have some people who are going down long driveways, through nooks and crannies and saying, where is this tennis court? And,
it's a way to play at some beautiful sites, really.
It really is cool, because we all know where the public courts are,
right.
For the most part, although there are a few hidden gems there as well, especially, Pittsfield, we have the new BCC courts that
right.
I hope they're being used.
I haven't gotten those donated yet. We'll have to see.
We'll make a few phone calls. That really shouldn't be a problem.
No, it shouldn't.
The Paul Revere tennis complex there at BCC. But, so the youth, and then, this rating system that you're talking about, if you play tennis a lot, you're very sort of aware of the rating. But how does that work? You have sort of official games against other people, and then it's based on how you perform in those?
Yes, well, we have like 4 or 5 doubles team at one site, and they play a round robin against each other, and it's over a 3-hour period. So it's just like any other sports round robin. Each doubles pair plays another doubles pair in the group that's in their level, and then the winner of that division gets an award when they come to the and a T-shirt when they come to the Berkshire West closing ceremonies.
So how many matches do people play in the 3-hour period?
About 5.
Okay, that's quite a bit.
4 or 5.
So they play best of 3 sets, or
no? They have to be short, because we're only doing.
Well, I was going to say,
usually
3 hours.
A best of 3 would be 3 hours.
Yeah, that in itself. Okay.
2 hours. So they're usually 6 to 8 game pro sets is what we call them.
Okay.
They play whoever gets to 6 games or 8 games first wins that match.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's
and for the children, it's shorter matches. It may be only 4 games, depending on their age. Also, we do use the different types of balls for the younger kids.
Really?
8 and under division will be using the round red and yellow balls that are fairly large. Then we have orange balls that are a little slower bouncing for the 10 and unders. And then we go up to orange balls. I said orange balls, then regular balls for the teens.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I never even, so is that a relatively new phenomenon for?
Well, that's called quick start tennis. And we start children out with larger balls, slower bouncing balls, smaller nets, smaller courts. And then as they progress, they go up to a 60-foot court, and then finally a full 72-foot court. So all our lessons are conducted with that kind of equipment. Shorter rackets also, and we do provide rackets for kids that don't have them. It's pretty cool. Now, all our coaches are college and high school students who have been trained to teach with this method by the United States Tennis Association. So they're all certified.
And that's a good thing, because it's not, it's funny how, in some sports it is, you have to be certified to teach. I know in swimming it's the same way. But,
absolutely.
But of course there's no certification to be like a baseball coach.
Really?
As far as that goes, it's like, there isn't.
How funny.
So you can coach a little league team, but that's what, but it shows that the USTA is much more organized by saying, look, there are certain skills, there are certain techniques that are best practices, and by being able to show your abilities in that way, then you can become certified and then teach others to do that.
Right. What's interesting right now is there are 2 certifying agencies besides USTA helping with this. There's what we call the USPTA and US or the PTR certifications, and all of them that are like the pros at your country club or your top pros, teaching pros, they all have to complete this same course that my high school and college kids have to. It's a requirement before they get certified to learn how to do this quick start program. So, and that's just a requirement this year, beginning this year, by which just is showing how valuable this method of teaching is.
Right. And so tell me how the program has grown with the CTA. Of course, you really started it, right?
I started 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
This is it, the anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're going to have a big party this year.
Sure.
Or someone's going to throw a big party for you.
But
so, yeah.
it's really, it started out just as 5 people gathering at the LYA, I think, saying we want to do some tennis together. And we had, I think it was 6 people, because we had one doubles court and one court that had a singles match going on. People kept joining, and now we have over 200 adults in our program playing at Grinnett Country Club, mainly on the clay courts. And we have, last summer we had 199 children, and they're not repeating, like they play in the spring, and they're not counted twice, spring and summer. But anyway, between the spring and summer, 199, how do you say it? Not non-duplicated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unique.
Sorry, I'm a
Unique
statistics. This is my background. So.
Well, yeah, in websites it would be unique views.
Right, that's
as
it.
Were.
You
So
got it.
unique,
You got it. You got it. Yeah.
Actually, 199 different young people.
Unique people.
Unique people.
And they go from big this year is starting 10 and under junior team tennis. We've always had 18 and under junior team tennis, which is our travel team, and 14 and under. But this year we did 2 matches last year with 10 and unders against South County, a Sheffield team, and the kids were fantastic. How they progressed as they played in their tournament, it just was fantastic.
And also, it's a little different to have such access to a clay court, because I would think that 99.9% of all public courts are hard courts.
Right.
But to have in Lee something as accessible like the Grinnett Country Club that's allowing the access to do that, I've always loved getting out there playing on a clay court every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's a much different feel. It's actually a lot easier on your legs too, probably, especially for older players.
Yes, I think that's why we have such a large population that's part of our membership. They're the snowbirds. They're already calling me saying, when's that schedule going to be posted so we can sign up? We do not want to be left out. But yes, the older people, we have people in their 80s playing, maybe 90s. And we leased the 2 red clay courts from Grinnett Country Club, and we maintain them through Peretti Tennis Courts, which is fantastic. Organization or business. They do a great job. Sure. They also do the Stockbridge Country Club courts, so they're really in great shape. And people can actually reserve the courts online. We have an online system where you can pay for the court and block it out, and then just show up at the court and play. So you have to be a member to do that, a member of the Lee CTA, and for that deluxe membership, it's $80, but for a normal membership, it's just $25, but it doesn't give you access to but it allows you to play in the leagues.
Yeah, but also very affordable compared to, say, a country club membership.
Yeah. And then the kids don't have to pay a membership, and neither do people in our special events like the Audie Furgal Tennis Classic. So
you're excited.
Yeah.
And at this point, as we're recording this, we're in late April, but you're still looking, I'm sure, for sponsors. I know that
Absolutely.
Joe is out there, the president of your board of the Lee CTA is out there, so he'll be knocking on doors of businesses, and people have contributed very generously in the past, no doubt.
Right.
But again, you'll be probably called on again, and others who are. I mean, the other thing is, I'm sure there are a lot of entities that are interested in the sport of tennis. Peretti, obviously one of those whose business is so related to it. But there are others as well, I'm sure.
Right. We have what we call court sponsors, which is a business that just gets a sign on the tennis net post, like in a golf tournament.
Sure.
What do they call them? The tee.
Yeah, the
Okay.
tee sponsors.
So we have a lot
yeah.
of local businesses
Sure.
that can be a court sponsor, and then we have underwriters, which between the underwriters and the court sponsors and the auction proceeds and the entry fees, we brought in over, I think over 10,000 last year, and maybe 18,000 the first year, and so we're trying to get it back up there,
Mm-hmm.
because for my organization, it's the major fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
For the VNA, they really need lots of different fundraisers to help keeping their offerings affordable. And
Sure.
so, anyway,
It's great.
that's yeah, it's kind of my life right now. Just getting all these programs set up for the kids and for the Audie Furgal tournament. We also have a U.S. Open trip on September 2nd
Right.
that
Right.
we bring in 55 people to the U.S. Open on a King Ward deluxe bus, and that's a lot of fun. Leave early in the morning and get back in the evening and have our little refreshments on the bus, which is lots of fun.
And you've gone yourself personally, probably how many U.S. Opens do you go every year?
I've gone every year since, I don't know, the early mid-'80s maybe.
Mid-'80s?
Yeah.
The McEnroe and Connors era?
Oh
and
yes,
all that.
definitely. Agassi.
Agassi and Sampras. And,
I was going back when it was at Forest Hills,
uh-huh.
not at the National Billie Jean
And,
Tennis Center
yeah,
that's in
and
Flushing now.
Meadows, yeah.
So
Interesting.
it's
And that was because at that point it was grass courts, right?
right. It was grass courts at Forest Hills. Pretty sure it was grass, not clay.
Right.
But it could have been. I think it was red clay.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Google it, you can find out. But
Wimbledon
but
is grass.
Right. But I knew that was different. Of course, again, in a way, sort of bringing the tournament to the people, because that's what public tennis courts are, hard courts, and so in a way, it's almost sort of America's. It really is America's Open because it's on a hard court in a way.
Yes, that's true. Yes. It is a fun trip. It really is great. There's a lot of, has a real international feel.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the only sport that does have representation from every country in the world. So that's very, very cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
It is
And
cool.
for the kids to go, it's just an unbelievable experience.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that'll be another good milestone again this year, and for your 30th year since starting the Lee CTA. Boy, it's been quite a run for you, Bunny. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And so for the Audie Furgal Tennis Classic, again, the website is Lee CTA, and those are the letters, CTA.
Yeah,
.com.
Yeah, LEECTA. CTA is Community Tennis Association. So if you might help people remember, the letters. But I've had a lot of help with this whole thing. There's a great committee, and again, with all the underwriters and sponsors, it's just really, it's something that, could never do by myself. And to have the Porchlight VNA as a partner, I mean, I'm a one-person staff, so I have a whole staff that works with me there. That's fantastic. So
It's exciting.
Yep.
It's exciting. So we'll do it one more time again this year. Raise a whole bunch of money for both the CTA and the telemonitoring system for Porchlight VNA. Very, very important and near and dear to our hearts, and Joe's, of course, especially with experience with it. But again, it's June 20th. It's that Saturday, so mark your calendar and then go to leasecta.com and sign up. And then I'm sure people can also give you a call. Bunny.
they could. I'll give you my phone number because
Sure.
I'm fine. I'd love to hear from people that are interested in tennis,
Mhm.
whether the programs or the Audie Furgal. It's 413-243-3240. And you're welcome to call me, leave a message, and I'll get right back to you. You can also contact us at our email site, which is info@leasecta.com. So I'd love to hear from people, answer any questions. Go to our website to find out more about the tournament.
Fantastic. Well, Bunny, great pleasure having you on the program as always.
Thank you so much,
It's going to
John.
be a great success.
Thanks, John.
Definitely.
I
Thank
really
you very
appreciate it.
much. This has been Porchlight, presentation of Porchlight VNA and Home Care. I'm John Kroll. Thanks for watching.